My dear friend, listen to me carefully. The Spirit of God has sent me to tell you this. It will happen tonight. You have walked through the fire, you have endured the storm, and you have been tested in the furnace of affliction. But tonight something is shifting. The heavens have opened over you, and the breakthrough that you have been waiting for is about to be released. Do you know why? Because you passed the test. There are moments in life when it feels as though heaven is silent. You pray, you fast, you believe, and yet the breakthrough seems distant. The promise that God whispered into your heart feels like it has been delayed indefinitely. You look around and see others receiving their blessings, stepping into their season, while you remain in the waiting room of life. It can be discouraging, even frustrating. But here is what you must understand. God's timing is not delayed, it is perfect. When God speaks a word over your life, He is not speaking from a place of uncertainty. He is not figuring things out as He goes. He declares the end from the beginning. He has already seen your breakthrough. He has already orchestrated the connections, the resources, and the opportunities that will align at the appointed time. The reason it seems delayed is because your human perspective is limited. You can only see the present moment, but God operates from eternity. He sees every detail of your journey, and He knows exactly when to release what He has promised. There are things you have been praying for, but if they were given to you prematurely, they would not bless you. They would burden you. Some doors remain closed because you are not yet prepared to walk through them. God is not withholding your blessing. He is refining you so that when the time comes, you will be able to sustain it. The worst thing that can happen is for you to step into a place you are not ready for. Destiny requires preparation. You do not plant a seed and demand an instant harvest. The soil must be cultivated, the roots must grow deep, and only then does the plant break through the surface. What you are calling a delay is often God working beneath the surface, strengthening your foundation so that when your season comes, you will not be shaken. Think about Joseph. He had dreams of greatness, but before he could step into the palace, he had to endure the pit and the prison. Each season of his life prepared him for the next. Had he been promoted too soon, he would not have been ready for the weight of leadership. But when God's timing arrived, nothing could stop it. Pharaoh called for him in a single night, and his entire life changed. The years of waiting were not wasted. They were necessary. The same principle applies to you. You may feel like you have been overlooked, but God has not forgotten you. He is positioning you. He is aligning circumstances so that when He opens the door, no man will be able to shut it. The right people will find you at the right time. The resources you need will come when you are prepared to manage them. The opportunity will appear when you have the character to sustain it. What is for you cannot be taken by anyone else. When the time comes, no opposition, no delay, no force of darkness will be able to stop what God has ordained. You must trust His process. Do not let frustration cause you to step ahead of God. Do not allow impatience to lead you into something outside of His will. His timing is not just about bringing the blessing, it is about ensuring that when the blessing comes, you are ready to carry it. Every season of waiting has a purpose. It is developing endurance, faith, wisdom, and resilience within you. These are qualities that will be required for the next level. If you rush ahead, you may find yourself in a place where you lack the strength to remain. But if you wait, if you trust, if you surrender to His perfect timing, you will see that every delay was actually divine alignment. There is no promotion without preparation. Every person whom God has ever elevated first had to be tested, refined, and proven faithful. We often desire the promise but resist the process. We pray for elevation but despise the trials that come before it. Yet, God never gives promotion without preparation. because what He gives must be sustained by character, wisdom, and spiritual maturity. You have been asking God for a breakthrough, but have you been prepared to handle it? The things you have endured, the trials, the setbacks, the waiting seasons, were not punishment, they were preparation. God saw something in you that needed refining before He could take you to the next level. The fire you have walked through was not meant to destroy you, it was meant to purify you. Just as gold is refined in intense heat to remove impurities, your trials have been burning away everything in you that would hinder your destiny. Look at the life of David. He was anointed to be king as a young boy, but he did not sit on the throne immediately. Instead, he was sent back to the fields to tend sheep. Even after proving himself, he was pursued by Saul, forced to hide in caves and endure years of hardship. Why? Because before he could rule a nation, he had to learn to lead in the wilderness. Before he could wear the crown, he had to endure seasons of isolation and rejection. The battles he fought as a shepherd and a fugitive prepared him for the battles he would fight as king. Had he been placed on the throne too soon, he would not have been ready for the weight of his calling. Some of you are asking God for leadership, for influence, for financial breakthroughs, for greater responsibility, but God is watching how you handle the little you have now. Are you faithful with what is in your hands today? Can you be trusted with small responsibilities before He gives you more? If you cannot endure discomfort now, how will you handle the pressure of greater assignments? Promotion is not given to those who merely desire it. It is given to those who have been refined through process. Your trials were not in vain. The closed doors, the disappointments, the betrayals, every single experience has been working together to shape you into the person who can carry what God is about to release into your life. If Joseph had not been betrayed by his brothers, sold into slavery, and thrown into prison, he would have never been positioned to become the second in command of Egypt. Every step of his journey looked like a setback, but in reality, it was a divine setup. His prison was preparation for his palace. You may feel like you are stuck, like your prayers have gone unanswered, like your breakthrough is taking too long. But what if God is using this season to sharpen you, to stretch you, to strengthen you for what is ahead? The worst thing that can happen is for you to step into a place you are not ready for. An unprepared person will mishandle a blessing. But when you have been trained by your trials, when you have endured the process, when you have remained faithful in the waiting, then you will be strong enough to handle the weight of the promotion that is coming. Do not resist the process. Do not curse the season of preparation. You are not being delayed, you are being developed. When the time is right, when the refining is complete, when God sees that you are ready, the doors will open suddenly. The promotion will come effortlessly. And when it does, you will realize that every trial was necessary, every tear was purposeful, and every test was making you into the person God called you to be. Endurance is not just about waiting. It is about how you wait. It is about standing firm when everything around you tells you to give up. It is about believing when the evidence suggests otherwise. Many people abandon their breakthrough moments before it arrives because they mistake delay for denial. They let discouragement, impatience, or frustration rob them of what was already set in motion for them. But you held on. You refused to quit. You trusted even when you did not understand. And that is why you are about to step into your reward. Faith is not proven in comfort. It is proven in struggle. It is easy to trust God when everything is working in your favor, when doors are opening and when opportunities are flowing. But real faith is demonstrated when the doors seem shut, when prayers appear unanswered, and when nothing seems to be happening. That is when your endurance is tested. Will you still trust when you see no progress? Will you still believe when it feels like God is silent? The enemy's greatest weapon is discouragement, because he knows that if he can make you quit, you will never see what was already prepared for you. Look at the story of Job. He lost everything, his wealth, his family, his health, but he refused to curse God and give up. He endured through the darkest season of his life, and in the end, God restored him double for everything he lost. His endurance was proof of his faith. It was not that Job was never discouraged, but he never abandoned his trust in God. And because he remained steadfast, his latter days were greater than his former days. What's the secret to strength? Giving thanks for the daylight peace has brought you. That same principle applies to you. The trials you have faced were not designed to break you. They were designed to build you. Every storm was a test, and your ability to keep believing was proof that you were ready for what is coming next. Many people receive promises from God, but not all of them see those promises fulfilled. Why? Because endurance is required to inherit the blessing. The Israelites were promised a land flowing with milk and honey, but only those who endured the wilderness made it in. The journey tested their patience, their obedience, and their faith. Some allowed doubt and fear to consume them, and as a result, they forfeited what was rightfully theirs. But those who endured, those who held on to faith even in the waiting, walked into their promised land. You have been through trials that would have broken others, but you kept going. You have faced disappointments that could have made you bitter, but you chose to trust God instead. You have experienced delays that could have made you walk away, but you remained steadfast. That is why you are about to see what others never saw. That is why you are stepping into something greater. Your endurance was not wasted. Every tear, every sacrifice, every moment of perseverance was adding weight to your testimony. Do not allow weariness to make you give up now. You are closer than you have ever been. The enemy would not have fought you so hard if there was nothing valuable on the other side. The resistance was a sign that something great is ahead. You have passed the test. You have endured the fire, and now you are about to walk into the fulfillment of what you have been believing for. Hold on just a little longer, because what was promised is about to be revealed. Nothing in your journey has been accidental. The battles you have faced, the opposition you have endured, the struggles that tried to break you, none of it was random. Every attack was a strategic effort by the enemy to stop you from stepping into your destiny. The moment you were chosen, the moment you carried purpose, you became a target. The enemy does not fight people who have nothing to offer. He fights those who are on the verge of something great. But here is the truth. If the battle came against you and you are still standing, you have already won. Spiritual warfare is real. Many people think their hardships are just a series of unfortunate events. But those with spiritual eyes understand that the greatest battles are fought in the unseen realm. The enemy does not want you to rise, so he uses distractions, delays, discouragement, and even people to try to block what God has set before you. But he has already lost. Every attempt to stop you was defeated the moment you refused to quit. Every plan to destroy you failed the moment you chose to keep believing. The fact that you are still here means the enemy's best was not enough to take you down. Look at Joseph. His own brothers tried to kill his dream before it even began. They threw him into a pit, sold him into slavery, and he was falsely accused and thrown into prison. Everything in his life looked like an attack, but in reality it was preparation. What the enemy meant for evil, God turned for good. The prison became the pathway to the palace. The suffering positioned him for his greatest assignment. The same is true for you. The warfare you endured was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to promote you. The enemy attacked your mind because he knew if he could plant seeds of doubt, you would give up on your promise. He attacked your finances because he knew you were called to be a blessing to others. He attacked your relationships because he knew that unity brings power. But what he didn't realize is that every battle only made you stronger. Every attack pushed you closer to God. Every struggle taught you how to fight in the Spirit. Instead of breaking you, the warfare trained you. Instead of weakening you, it refined you. And now you have emerged victorious. You have been tested, but you have not been defeated. You have been stretched, but you have not been broken. The fire tried to consume you, but it only burned away what was unnecessary. Like gold in the furnace, you have come out purer, stronger, and more anointed than ever before. The enemy threw everything he had at you, but you are still here, and that means you have already won. Your survival is proof of your victory. The very fact that you are still standing, still believing, still pressing forward means the battle is already decided. The warfare was necessary because it revealed your strength. It showed you what you are made of. And now that you have passed through it, nothing can stop what God has prepared for you. The enemy fought hard, but he could not stop your destiny. Now you are about to step into the very thing he tried to keep from you. Get ready, because what was once a battle is about to become your breakthrough. There are moments in life that are orchestrated by man, and then there are moments that bear the unmistakable signature of God. What is about to happen in your life is not something that can be explained by logic, human effort, or coincidence. It is not something that connections, strategies, or plans could have accomplished. This is a moment that only God can take credit for. This is a divine move, a supernatural shift, a testimony of His power and faithfulness. You have done all you could. You have prayed, you have believed, you have endured, and now the time has come for God to reveal what He has been working on behind the scenes. When He moves, there will be no doubt that it was Him. No one will be able to say it was luck. No one will be able to claim it was by chance. It will be so big, so undeniable, so extraordinary that even those who doubted you will have to acknowledge that only God could have done it. Think of when God parted the Red Sea for the Israelites. No one could deny that it was a miracle. Think of when He shut the mouths of lions for Daniel, when He caused water to flow from a rock, when He raised Lazarus from the dead. These were not ordinary moments. These were moments that had God's signature all over them. What He is about to do in your life will carry that same divine mark. It will be the kind of breakthrough that leaves people in awe. Every delay was necessary because God wanted to make sure that when it happened, there would be no room for doubt. If it had come earlier, you might have been tempted to think it was because of your effort. If it had come another way, people might have given credit to a person. But this will be a testimony that shouts His glory. The doors that are about to open will be doors that no man could have unlocked. The favor that is about to locate you will be favor that cannot be explained. God specializes in moments like these. He waits until the odds are stacked against you, until all other options have failed, until people have written you off, and then He moves. He steps in and does what no one thought was possible. He takes the least likely and lifts them up. He takes the overlooked and gives them a platform. He takes the broken and restores them in ways that leave people speechless. What is coming is not small. It is not ordinary. It is not something that will blend in with the natural course of life. It is something that will be so evident, so miraculous, so breathtaking that even you will have to fall to your knees in gratitude. The same people who doubted you will have to acknowledge that God was with you all along. The same people who overlooked you will have to witness your elevation. And when it happens, you will know. You will look at what unfolds and realize that no human hands could have arranged it. You will see the divine fingerprints on every detail. You will recognize that this was what the waiting was for. This was what the warfare was about. This was what the preparation was leading to. It is happening, and when it does, there will be no doubt. This is the work of God. This is the fulfillment of His promise. This is His signature moment in your life. There comes a moment in life when everything shifts, a moment when the waiting comes to an end, the struggle gives way to victory, and the unseen promise becomes a visible reality. That moment is now. Tonight is not just another night. It is a divine appointment. It is the activation of your destiny. Everything you have endured, everything you have learned, every tear, every prayer, every battle has led to this moment. The wait is over. The struggle is ending. You are stepping into the manifestation of what God has promised you. For too long it felt like nothing was moving. You have waited and wondered, God, when will it happen? But what you didn't realize is that all along God was setting the stage. He was aligning the right people, preparing the right opportunities, positioning you in the right place. The enemy tried to delay you, but he could not deny you. The process was long, but now the promise is about to be fulfilled. Think of Joseph, years of waiting, years of being overlooked, years of enduring trials that made no sense. But in one night, everything changed. One conversation, one opportunity, one moment of divine alignment, and he went from the prison to the palace. That is how quickly God can shift things. That is how suddenly He can bring to pass what He has promised. Tonight is your moment. The season of delay is over. The chains that held you back are breaking. The doors that were once shut are opening before you. Every hardship, every battle, every trial was not wasted. It was preparation. It was refining. It was positioning you for this moment. You had to go through the fire so you could be pure gold. You had to endure the test so you could be trusted with the blessing. And now, heaven is moving, angels are on assignment, and what was once just a vision in your spirit is about to become a reality before your eyes. Tonight, the shift is happening. The divine release is here. What was blocked is being unblocked. What was stuck is being set in motion. What seemed impossible is now becoming possible. The weight of waiting is lifting, and the fulfillment of God's promise is arriving. You are stepping into your purpose, walking in your anointing, moving in the favor that was always yours. This is not an ordinary night. This is a night of breakthrough. This is a night of transformation. This is the night when everything changes. Destiny is being activated. Your time has come. Your season has arrived. The promise is manifesting. It is happening, and nothing can stop it. Get ready, because everything is shifting in your favor. My friend, hear me clearly. This is not just another night. This is a divine appointment. This is the moment heaven has been preparing for you. Everything you have been through, everything you have endured, everything you have prayed for has led to this. The tests were necessary. The trials were refining you. The waiting was positioning you. And now the manifestation is here. No longer will you stand on the edge of promise. No longer will you watch others walk into their blessings while you wonder when yours will come. Tonight, the door swings open. Tonight, the chains break. Tonight, the heavens declare, it is time. What is coming will be undeniable. What is unfolding will bear the mark of God's hand. And when it happens, there will be no question. This was not by might, nor by power, but by the Spirit of the living God. So step into it with confidence. Walk boldly into your destiny. Do not shrink back. Do not second guess. Do not let fear whisper doubts. You have passed the test. You have endured the fire. You have proven your faithfulness. And now, the reward is here. This is the night everything changes. This is the moment destiny is activated. This is the time you have been waiting for. Receive it, walk in it, and give God the glory, because it is happening now.